Hey guys, it's Carly and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be doing a get ready with me and I'm going to show you how I do my makeup on a regular, everyday basis. Don't mind my lovely little head wrap that Maddie got me. I got this from Forever 21 and she insists I wear it, and I don't wear it very often, but it keeps the flyaways back. And eventually, if it gets too annoying, I might have to take it off. So we're going to see how that goes. All right, so I'm going to do my face like I would normally do a normal day, kind of give you guys some pointers, some tips, what I've learned. I've taught myself. I'll try to find everything I've used on my face and I'll try to link it down below. All right, so I'm going to start off with the Mario Badescu spray. And this is in the Aloe Cucumber and Green Tea. This is a really, really good one. I use the spray. It's just for a little moisturization. It's just a facial spray. It smells really good. It's very refreshing. All right, next I'm going to do some moisturizer. I just got this moisturizer. It's the Velvet Skin Gel Cream Purple Rice Water with Wild Orchid from Shea Moisture. Now, I have never tried this before, and I found it the other day at TJ Maxx. So let me see if I can, there you go. It looks like this on the inside. It's all right, purple, like cream base. And it smells, honestly, it smells like crayons. I'm not gonna lie. I just started using it, so I'm still kind of messing with it, playing with it, see how I like it. But yeah, I'm not gonna dig this head wrap at all because this thing likes to fall off my face.
Sorry, man, but you're gonna have to get over it, girl.
Sayonara. All right. All right, one fun thing I did get though recently is from the Dollar Tree, is this fan. So, you know, you're like in church, get the little fan. Really nice for drying off your face when you're doing makeup. Amazing. All right, my next product I have is the Vitamin Enriched Face Base by Bobbi Brown. And it looks like this. That's what it looks like. And I use this as a moisturizer. You can use it as a primer. And you don't need that much. And it makes your face and skin really, really plump feeling. It smells very citrusy. And actually, I got this stuff. I learned about it from a YouTuber, Emily Noel 83 on YouTube. She is amazing. If you don't follow her, don't watch her, you should. She's really amazing. This is something she actually recommended, and I know she enjoys. And I said, oh, I'm gonna try it one day, whatever. On Black Friday last year, they had 2 for the price of 1 or something to that effect on QVC. And I ended up getting them. I have very normal skin type, so I don't get very oily or anything like that. I'm not very greasy. I'm very just normal. Have a little bit of acne here and there, but nothing like crazy. All right, our next step is going to be primer. Just any of you guys that are trying to build up your makeup collection, you don't usually do a lot of makeup. You don't like know what to get, or you don't want to go out to the store and you know, go through things. You don't watch a lot of YouTube, etc., etc. I recommend getting an Ipsy box or Ipsy bag or the BoxyCharm. Those are 2 of my favorite subscriptions that I do. They're each different subscriptions for different companies. BoxyCharm you do once a month, and Ipsy is once a month. Ipsy you get 4 small products, 1 full size typically, but BoxyCharm is full sizes. But I have built my collection over this last couple years doing that. This is the No Pore Blum Prime Essence Calendula Flower Extract Touch and Soul Primer. It looks like that. And it's got a little knob here. And I'm almost done with this. I got this in a BoxyCharm a long time ago, and it's very liquidy primer. And I know a lot of people don't use primers. And like I said, you don't have to. It's not something that, you know, is requirement when you put makeup on. But it definitely, I feel, to me, helps my makeup stay on. And if you're very oily, they make really nice matte primers. And you don't have to get the most expensive. You don't have to get the cheapest. It's just, you know, what's in your budget and what you like. For foundation, Physicians Formula the Healthy Foundation. This is what it looks like. I am in the shade LN4, and I really like the way this foundation looks on the skin. It's not a long-lasting foundation by any means, but it has a doe foot applicator like this, and it smells like, I want to say it smells like coffee, because to me it's what it smells like, tastes like. It definitely smells like coffee. But this is one of my favorite foundations, so this is the one I decided to use today. And I like to use a beauty blender. This is a Real Techniques beauty sponge. You can get them about $4 or $5 at Walmart, anywhere. Sometimes you can catch them on sales. Good place to get them at is TJ Maxx. But this is what it looks like. It has the flat side and the tip. And I love a beauty sponge to put my foundation on with. And some people like to use brushes. I'm not a big brush person, to be honest. See if you can see how that looks. I mean, I really like this foundation. It's pretty full coverage. It's pretty, I wouldn't say like it's the fullest of coverage, but if you're really easily bothered by scents, I do not recommend this because the scent on it is really crazy. So moving on now to concealer. Currently I'm using 3 different concealers. No reason in particular. I don't normally use 3, I normally use 1. But there's 2 of them that I'm trying to get rid of from an Ipsy bag that I got a long while ago. So I have Morphe concealer. When I figure out what kind it is, I'll let you know. It's C1.55. This is what it looks like. And this is more like my skin tone, or close to my skin tone. It's a little bit darker, but I typically use this color, this actual one, for blemishes on my face, around the nose. And then I'm also working with It's Bye Bye Under Eye. That's what that looks like. And I'm in the shade Light. And this is in a squeezy tube, which is pretty cool for a concealer. But I at first hated this concealer because it's so thick. And I'm gonna put this one on first. You only need, like, I don't know, a half a pea worth. This I only use under my eyes because the color is so light. But this is, I mean, and it's thick. So literally I take it, well, usually I put it on my ring finger, my dorkfish self, and just really warm it up between my ring fingers. Just really warm it up. And just press in my under eye, bring it down a little bit. Same on both sides. So I kind of let that chill for a few minutes, kind of let that marinate. The next thing that I use is the Tarte Shape Tape, which a lot of people know. Mine's starting to rub off on the top, but I use this in the shade 205 Light Sand. And I absolutely love this concealer. Big doe foot. Everybody knows Tarte Shape Tape. Distinct smell. This one I kind of use to highlight different places. And I kind of highlight places that are not necessarily where you need to highlight, but, you know, to each their own. So I'm going to go down the forehead a little bit. Like, I literally just scrape a lot of it off. And this color is a pretty light color for me too. Again, we're gonna go in with some Morphe, and it's almost gone, which is cool because I like to get rid of things. I have a lot of things that I don't necessarily need that much of. But again, any little bumps I have, And with that same sponge, I don't typically use this side for much of like foundation or concealers or anything. That's usually for like when I do powder, so I'll show you that in just a second. But I usually leave the eyes for last to kind of sit there and get warm and constantly like give it a chance to soak in. Just kind of bounce back and forth. All right, so everything is all blended in. Brought it down the neck. Everything's looking pretty good, pretty plump. So next, we're gonna kind of let that soak there for a second. We're gonna go into brows. I'm not a big brow person as far as drawing them on, being real. I like that they are natural and I keep them that way. I'll go and get them done every once in a while, but not very often. Usually I do them myself. So right now I use different things. Sometimes I use cream, sometimes I use a pencil. Just if I run out of something particular, like I'll go pick up something that's TJ Maxx or whatever, just a little bit cheaper. This is the CoverGirl. I don't know, I might have to look this up, what kind of brow product this is. But it looks like that. And it came with a little brush that's now pushed inside, so I don't use that anymore. But I got this a while back from the store. It is a little pot like this, and it has the little color inside. And this is in 715, so it's like a brown, like a light brown like color. And I'm using this brush from the Brow Gal. So on one side you got a spoolie, on the other side you got like a little brush. And this brush I think I got probably a BoxyCharm. So with this CoverGirl one, I like to take some, I'll show you what I do. I typically just kind of run it through my brows to kind of fill in where it's sparse. Just grab a little bit on that brush, not like a crazy big amount. If you came here for brow tutorial girl,
this is not the one.
Because I am not that girl. So we're gonna go in with this spoolie and just bring it in through the brow. I've currently got white chicken chili in the crock pot, and I'm just like thinking about it, like I need to go stir it up. Even though I don't think mine's gonna be very white, but we're finna find out. It's the first time that I've ever made it. I can make some chili, but I've never made white chicken chili. All right, so yeah, bringing the brows in where you want them, where you think they look good. Like I said, mine are big. I got my dad's eyebrows. It is what it is. I like them natural. All right, so after that, powder. Typically, if I'm going somewhere, you need to make sure you have powder all across here. Because no matter what, unless you have a foundation that is going to be non-transfer, etc. And there are some ones that I love, which eventually I would like to get some more of. I haven't repurchased because right now I'm kind of going through quite a few foundations. So I kind of need to use what I have before I repurchase again because I don't need to be out of control. We're going to powder down with the sponge. I have lines right underneath my eyes right here. So this is a real touchy thing for me. Trying to find a powder that I like, that'll stay where it goes, where I don't have to worry about a whole lot of creasing. And I mean, you know, with age, you're going to get that anyways. But right now, this is working for me, or working well enough for me. I use the Coty Airspun powder. This is a very popular powder that you're going to see a lot of people using. This is the color translucent extra coverage. It's $4 or $5 at Walmart. The only bad thing about it is that it has a crazy smell. It smells like grandma. I'm not even going to lie to you. But it's been around for a while. A lot of people swear by it. It's just, it's good. But it comes in a little container like this, has a sifter on top. Mine's got a lot going on right now. But first thing I do is I take this brush, and it is a Equal Tools brush. It is the full shadow brush. Now let me show this to you, how it looks. So this is a brush that I got in a set, I believe, but this is what I do personally, what's been working for me lately. So again, like, you just make sure none of that's collecting. Get that brush, coat it, you know, tap some of it off, and press it right in where those lines are, just right underneath the eye. See if you could see. And sometimes, like, I gotta go down there a little bit, but. And then again, I put some powder, not a crazy amount, on the end of my sponge. You don't have to use a sponge for this step. I mean, you can use brushes or don't use powder at all, whatever you want to do. But, you know, places that you're going to be touching, if you're going out wearing a mask and you need to try to keep your foundation on. But this is a really good powder. This, I think, you know, and I have the Laura Mercier powder that a lot of people talk about. I have a little sample version of it because I'd always wanted to try it, and I got it one time for my birthday, and I still have it, and I'm still, you know, going to use it from time to time. But this is the powder I keep coming back to. I have repurchased this several times. I actually, you know, I really recommend it. Some people might go, oh, it's too drying on my skin. And again, you know, whatever works best for you and your skin. Some people like to bake, and I have baked before too, like when you just put it on, like right underneath of your eye and let it sit and just chill. But I've also kind of shied away from that for a while. I just think it's too much. I don't know, just personal opinion, personal preference. It's just not a big deal. But I'm gonna kind of tap it in a little bit, because I know I just, being on camera, I'm putting too much powder on my face. All right, so we have powder, we have eyebrows. Now it's gonna go on to my favorite step. So we're gonna go into Milani eyeshadow primer. Excuse the hair. This is the shade 01 Nude. Again, Emily Noel. It's a little tube, like so. Eyeshadow primer. You do not have to use eyeshadow primer. This will help your eyeshadow stay on longer, especially if you have oily lids, etc., etc. Half a pea, maybe, on your ring fingers. This particular one does not get too sticky. Just pat it on your eyelid, like so. I'm a very big collector of eyeshadow palettes, and it's one of my favorite things in my collection to collect. And when this came out, I haven't gotten the previous ones. When this came out about a month ago, maybe, I was really excited. And I'm trying to find the other two, or at least one of them, in TJ Maxx currently. If I can find it, I'm going to purchase it. But every year for fall and for Christmas, like every other brand does, they release palettes, seasonal palettes. Sometimes they're limited, etc., etc. But this is a brand that I like a lot. Their makeup is very fun, very colorful. And like I said, I like to play, I like to collect. And this is one of my favorite, my babies in my collection right now. And this is the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice Palette. And if you look, it looks like pumpkin pie. So like you see the crust all around. The pumpkin part, it looks like whipped cream. It's a really nice metallic tin. And if you don't know this brand, like they're a really fun brand. It's a little bit more high-end, yes. It's a little bit more expensive. But this is like a treat to myself. This is something that I'm not gonna go ahead and buy every day because that's just not my life. But this palette, it smells like, it doesn't really smell like pumpkin. It smells like more like vanilla-y, but this is what it looks like inside. And I love it. This is very special to me. So we're gonna see what kind of eye look we're gonna create for you guys today with the Pumpkin Spice palette. Let me see. All right, first things, this thing is it's called Color Switch. It's Veramona, and I got it out of Boxy Charm, I think. But the one I had prior, I bought, I think, at TJ Maxx. But it's in a little tin like this, and it has this little black thing inside that is like, I don't even know how I describe it. It's almost like sponge material, like a sponge that you would use like just to wash dishes with, but it's a little bit harder. And this is something that you use to take your brush and clean your brush off in, like when you're switching colors, i.e. color switch. If you don't have one of these and you do your makeup a lot, or use more than one color, or have a limited amount of brushes for anything, for any reason, this is a really, really cool thing to have. And they're very inexpensive, $4 or $5 maybe, like it's not a big deal. This is a Luxie brush that I got out of a Ipsy bag. I've had it for a while. That it's my favorite brush. I use it every day in my eyeshadow applications, and I don't know what number or style it is, but it's a double-ended brush, and you have the shader on one side, or the blender, and then on the other side you have the eyeshadow brush. And like I said, I use this brush every single day. I typically do my eyes with 4 different colors. So this is like the most fun part to me. This is what I spend the most time on. So I'm gonna dip into, I think, we're just gonna stay on this corner of the palette right here. I'm gonna dip into Love You a Latte, which is that color right there. And it's like, what color would you call that? Like a purpley pink mauve toned color. All right, so at the very light hand, we're gonna go in and starting at the crease and above, we're gonna lightly place this. Back and forth motions. I like to dip it, like start dotting it and then just back and forth. And this is the transition shade. And wherever you first dip your brush down into is where you're gonna hit the most product into. So, and don't choke too hard down on the brush. Kind of hold it farther back so you have a little bit more control. And the key to this is blending.
Blend, blend, blend.
All right, so once you have that transition color where you want it, now see, me as well, I like to leave a little space right here. So right between the color and the eyebrow. And if I even bring it up too much, like I usually use a color to highlight that area anyways. But literally just go from that corner all the way over in the crease and just bring it up. And like I'd put it on a little bit and then just windshield wiper motions. Just make sure you don't have any really, really, really harsh lines. So my next brush I'm going to pick up is a SL Miss Glam, which I love their brushes as well. The eyeshadow brush in N15, and it looks like this. This is my in the crease brush. All right, so now we're going to dip into Warm and Cozy. And it's almost like a wine shade, like a plum. That one right there. And we're gonna put that in the crease. So as I'm doing the crease, I plop it right in. And when I put it in, I put it, drag it, put it, drag it. So it's constantly, and just do it faster and faster, but only in the crease. Making sure it's well blended. My biggest feat is trying to make them twins. They're definitely sisters. I don't know about twins. But then again, if you can't get that crease brush to do it for you, go back in with that same brush we used to lay down the transition and just lightly brush back and forth on it. Really trying to blend those in. If you have to go back in with a little bit more of the transition color, That's okay. Just be very light-handed about it. It's just, you know, take your time, do your thing. All right, so now we're gonna go into glitter. So typically I like to use a very shiny shade on the inner corner, or the inner third, 3/4. And I'm gonna try to do what I can with these fingernails. Bear with me. If not, I will use a brush. So we're gonna dip into PSL and Chill. So Pumpkin Spice Latte and Chill, that color right there. And yeah, that looks really good. But considering I have these fingernails in my way, I'm gonna have to lay it down in the inner corner with the brush. But again, I didn't have to wet it. You can if you choose to. It'll give you a really good payoff. I really like this palette. I'm telling you what. This has definitely been one of my favorite purchases for myself in a while. All right, so on the other end of that brush, the shadow brush is what the brushes that I use. And I know I didn't speak about what this brush is. This came in a set. This is a Luxie brush, the small shader, the one I use to pat down. So the last color I typically use, we're gonna go into Spice of Life, which is that really, really nice rich purple shade in the palette in the corner. And we're gonna put that on the edge. And this really isn't very pumpkin-y, but I tell you what, it sure is cute. We're gonna tap it all next to that glittery shade. And just right on the edge of the eye like that. And just really blend it right here on the edge of the eye. I have a brush like this I use it, it's a highlight brush typically. It's called the Luxie 640 Pro Precision Tapered. It looks like this. It's a very flimsy brush. I literally just use it to clean off under my eyes. When I got some fallout or something. Okay, so now we're going to go in with this Luxie mini angled brush. Looks like that. I'm going to dip into whipped cream, which is that creamish color in the very, very top of the palette. And we're going to place some of that right between your transition shade and your eyebrow, just to kind of give a little bit of more definition. So if it looks a little, crazy, or if I want a little heavy-handed, right here on the edge of the eye, you go. I like that a lot. So now I'm gonna go in under the eye, and I only recently started doing under the eye in the last, you know, year, I would say. I typically use a shade that's what I've used already, something I wanted to bring in. I'm gonna go back into that Warm and Cozy shade. It's like that burgundy, and kind of just start dotting it and brushing it right under the waterline. All right, we're gonna put something in the tear duct as well, but we're gonna do that when we get to highlight. So we're done with eyes, except for that. I wanna kind of go a little bit faster now because I'm getting to where I'm taking too much time. All right, so next we're gonna go into bronzer. This is the bronzer that I'm using. This is the Too Faced bronzer. Sorry if I blinded you. It's Too Faced Natural Lust bronzer. This is a bronzer that you're gonna find right now at TJ Maxx on sale, probably about 10 bucks. I'm glad I picked it up. This is something I found. I didn't think I was gonna like it at first, maybe, but this is what it looks like. Really, really pretty. And it's a satin dual tone bronzer. So you can use the, like where the peacock is, you can use this by itself. You can use that by itself. You can put them together. I kind of focus more on the brown area and then kind of bring some of that in too. The brush I use for bronzer is the Eco Tools. It's the round powder brush. This is what I've used for a long time. It's just what I prefer. So I dip all around in there and then pick up a little bit extra brown. Take it across the hairline. Typically I like to use a little bit more matte bronzers, so this satin is not bad. Bring it down Not actually. We're gonna go down the temples and we're gonna go down the front of the face. You wanna put this wherever sun typically hits you. I don't really contour much anymore either. Sometimes, but not often. And sometimes I've heard people do the 3, so you go. I've heard certain makeup artists say not to do that. It is what it is. This looks good. I like the way it looks. So brush it up in the hair. This also helps when you use bronzer if your foundation is too light for your face. Make it match your neck. And we're gonna move on to blush. This blush that I'm going to be using is by Duce Cosmetics. It's called the Freematic Blush. It is in the color Zen Orange. Looks like this. I got this in my recent Ipsy bag. I want to try it. I haven't tried it yet, so you guys are the first ones to see how this looks on me because I haven't even seen how it looks on me. It pulls a lot oranger on camera than it is in real life. Blush brush is Moda brush. It looks like this. It came with a set and a BoxyCharm. I believe this is pretty sparkly. It's kind of hard to tell. I've typically been putting my blush kind of here back, bring it up the temple. This is kind of like a peach, it kind of pulls peach to me. I don't know that I can really see what this is doing. When I wear purple eyeshadow, I usually don't like to go really, really pink on my blush. So this is a really, you know, it's cool that it's pulling more peach like this. I don't know, I just don't feel like the hot pink goes with the, goes with purple. To me, it's kind of like, I don't know, clownish, but that's just me. I don't know, it's weird. All right, so now we're gonna go into highlighter. The highlighter brush I use is the SL Miss Glam L36. It looks like this. Favorite. I love this brush. And the palette we're gonna use, yes, palette, is the Rachhloves Pixi palette. Looks like this. Get it at Target. I want to say it's like $20, maybe. Rachhloves is a YouTuber and she is amazing. Check out her channel as well. And this is the palette that she created. So it has 3 shades on top and 2 big ones on the bottom. And you can mix and match these shades. So you can put them together. So it can work for many different skin tones. I really enjoyed it. This will last you a really, really, really long time. This is just a palette I pull for all my looks right now. I got it as a Mother's Day present. So thank you to my boos, my babies, my big baby. All right, so I think I'm gonna pull Clutch with wider tone. A little bit of that and a tad bit of Zipper. Zipper's the more purpley one. Just to play with that purple. And to pull it out of the eyes. Right on the cheekbones. And then whatever's left, right there. Hopefully you can see that. Yes. All right, and again on both sides. And I love a really, really blinding highlight. But the colorful ones, like if it's colorful, like Zipper, like if it's that purple, trying to pull that, I'll do it on my cheekbones. And then clean my brush out and bring Clutch by itself down on the bridge of my nose, a little bit on the edge of my nose, Cupid's bow. But just constantly keep going back to that so I can constantly make sure that's really blended. So I don't have a whole lot of crazy harsh lines. And I think because I like it so much, I'm going to take this brush, which is the Luxie Mini Round. And I'm going to pull into Zipper, that purpley color. And I'm going to put it right here in the corner of my eye look. All right, so everything's on the face. All the powder products are there. This is what we're going with. I'm liking it. So now we're going to set it with some spray. I have the Continuous Setting Mist by Morphe. This is in the peach scent. I think I got this on sale a couple dollars at Ulta. I love the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Like the mist on this is amazing. And I don't always use that.
It smells like freaking peach schnapps. Oh my god.
Once the face is pretty dry, we're going to reach for the mascara. I'm using this, the Total Temptation Mascara by Maybelline. This is a sample that I got in a bag I purchased from Ulta. Pretty basic wand. I'm still kind of forming an opinion on this. I don't like love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I don't do fake lashes either, so bear with me. All right, so I got a little bit of mascara underneath, so I'm gonna let that dry for a minute, and then we're gonna flake it off. So while that's drying, I'll help it along for a second. I'll let that sit for a second. I'm gonna pull in for the lips, which I have been doing lips a lot lately. I got this Jeffree Star Small Liquid Lip. It's in this color Posh Spice. Looks like this little doe foot applicator. This is a very natural, neutral shade. A little bit browner than I wanted, but we'll work with it. I usually just take a spoolie dipped in a little bit of powder and just get it off like that. So this is the final look. Hopefully you guys can follow along. Hope everything was clear enough for you. I like it. I think everything looks really, really good. I'm not so much digging the lip color anymore. I kind of chose a little bit more neutral, but gray kind of pulling in out of that, like the gray tones, like the, what do you call that? Like the purpleness of it. It's kind of pulling out. It's not bad. Again, I love that palette. I thoroughly recommend it. But I thank you guys for coming in today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, liking. Thank you for following my journey. I hope you enjoyed watching me do my makeup. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. I hope you come back and see some more. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you next time. Bye. I don't know what I'm saying. Why am I doing this? All right, one more time.
Mommy! This doesn't really prop up like I want it to. Stop it. Get some help.
Girl.